tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship set ground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, a millionaire and his wife, a movie star, the professor and Mary Ann, here on Gilligan's Isle. So this is the tale of our castaways. They're here for a long, long time. They'll have to make the best of things. It's an uphill climb. The first mate and his skipper too will do their very best to make the others comfortable in the tropic island nest. No light, no motor cars, not a single luxury. Like Robinson Crusoe, it's primitive as can be. So join us here each week, my friends, you're sure to get a smile from 7 stranded castaways here on Gilligan's Island.
Welcome, and that was our intro. Welcome, Dolphinators, to how dolphins sleep. Yeah. Sleep. So we're on about dolphins sleeping and how they sleep. How do dolphins sleep, you ask? I'm going to tell you how they sleep, and I'm going to show you how they sleep. No, not quite like that. So let's get on to how dolphins sleep. First of all, I'll tell you how they don't sleep. So dolphins do not sleep like that. They do not sleep with a pillow and a blanket and a cute little hat, even though they do look cute doing it, but they don't. So let's move on to how they do sleep. Now this is what is called logging. It's one form of logging. Now logging it can be done like this or other way. So when dolphins sleep, they actually keep one eye open and they shut the other eye and rest that side of the brain. They keep this eye open for a couple of reasons. Now those couple of reasons is this. Dolphins, when they're in the water logging like this, to a predator, they do look like a log, and that's why it is called logging. But there is that off chance that a predator will come over and have a bit of a look. So they keep their eye open so that they can keep an eye out for predators. Keep an eye out. No? Okay. So they can keep an eye out for predators. And also by keeping the eye open and keeping this half of the brain active, it actually allows them. So a question I have been asked, before I get on with that, question I have been asked is, why don't dolphins drown when they're sleeping? Because dolphins can only hold their breath for around about the 10-minute mark. So why don't they drown? I'll tell you why they don't drown. So when they're like this, and by keeping that eye open and that side of the brain open, it tells the dolphin they need to go up and breathe. What they do is they go up, they take a breath, and then they'll come back down and they'll continue to sleep. Or if they want to move on, they'll move on. But it does tell them they need to breathe. It is their 100% their decision if they want to continue to sleep or if they want to move on. So dolphins do tend to sleep around about the 2-hour mark at a time. And they do this by logging. Now, I know it looks a bit strange that dolphins upside down, but they do actually do this for a reason. Now, the reason that they do this is simply because dolphins are not strong enough to be able to move quickly from a standing point. So if they were to be like this, or they can't, it's not as quick for them. So when they're upside down, dolphins actually have, just like a great white shark, they do actually have precaudal keel, which is here. Now it's just in front of the fluke, and it's kind of like, it comes out a bit like that. Now they do have a slight caudal keel, just like the great white shark. Now that allows for rapid movement. They're able to move quite well because of the caudal keel, just like the great white can twist and turn quite well. So what they do from this point, if a predator does come along, they're able to do what we call fly away really quickly. So they can flick and they can fly away quite quickly, and they can just spin around. It's because of that quarter kill as well that they're able to spin around more quickly and go. So this is their preferred sleeping, simply for the fact that it is quicker and easier for them to fly away from this point rather than any other point. Now another one is this one. This is also a form of logging. You see whales such as humpback whales, southern right whales, sperm whales, you'll see pods of them doing this. Even single ones you'll see doing this. So this is another form of logging as well. And yes, again, they rest one half the brain, keep the other eye and brain active, just to tell them they need to breathe. So this is an example of how dolphins with their eyes open. The other side is shut and that side of the brain is shut down. But this side of the brain is actually active so that they're able to tell themselves that they do need to breathe, and they're keeping an eye out for those predators also. Now, you remember me talking about mothers with their calves? When they're born, they don't sleep for the first few weeks to months of their life. And I was telling you how they do carry them and hold them up because they don't have the blubber buoyancy to be able to hold. For the baby does not have the blubber buoyancy to be able to swim on its own while it's sleeping. So, and this is around about the area here where the mother carries the baby while the baby's sleeping. But she does stay awake. She does not sleep. I reckon I'd be real cranky if I did. I can imagine that. So this is another way of, that is how they carry them. And they are quite unique in how they sleep. They are quite unique in how they tell themselves to breathe. So the next time you do see a dolphin, have a look. Is it sleeping? Isn't it sleeping? Another form of resting for a dolphin too. Now, what I'll get into a little bit about like their deep diving and that sort of thing in the next video. We'll do that. And I will explain to you how they're able to do deep diving and everything without damage to their lungs or anything. I will explain that to you. I won't do that now. But dolphins rest as well. So I don't know whether you guys have ever seen a pod of dolphins feeding in a bay or something, and all of a sudden one of the dolphins might just hover and just have the fin slightly out of the water. So that's called, it's just a hovering is what it's known as. Now that hovering is after the dolphin has eaten. What he or she is actually doing is just gaining a little bit of energy for the momentum to be able to go. So they're gaining that energy, they're just hovering there, and that just gives them the chance just to gain that energy just to continue off. So when you do see them hovering, they're just resting. So it is kind of another form, it's not sleeping, but it is resting. So in summary, dolphins log when they're sleeping. Now that might be like this or it might be like this. And yes, they do keep one side of the brain open and one eye open. Why do they keep one eye open? To tell themselves they need to breathe, and also to look out for predators as well that might be around. But by logging, the predators generally leave them alone because they do look like a log in the water. That, dolphinators, is the summary, and that is how they sleep. Say bye now to this lovely pod of dolphins, and we will see you in the next video, and I will talk about how they deep dive and how far they can go. So you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you again later.